Jesmen Summa has contended the suspension issued on him by the party, saying it is not legal and that the act is a plot by some people to manipulate the party. This comes after the party had earlier issued a suspension on him as chairman on the grounds of anti-party activities. The suspension of the members within the party without the knowledge of the National Election Committee, among other things. Meanwhile, as Jesmen refuses to be considered suspended, Western Area District Chairman Emmanuel Towell says the party has suspended him and he should go back on TV and apologize. Samuel Tunisoya has more on the story.
Leading up to the June 23rd elections, the NGC party entered an alliance with the SLPP, making a coalition with shared and mutual benefits. Fast forwarded to a few months after the elections, many people, including members within the party, started raising concerns regarding the benefits accrued the alliance, as much was allegedly not forthcoming. Even the acting chairman, Jesmen Summa, stated that the alliance failed them and they are not part of it. These remarks and two actions, which according to some party members are a breach of the party's rule, led to his suspension.
And for the chairman was suspended for three major reasons. One, the chairman on itself acted and even raised the sum of the membership without the party consent, without the NEC members. Two, the chairman suspended members of the party, registered members and founding members without consulting any party member or the discipline committee. And three, he did anti-party by coming to AYV and other media saying that we are not part of the alliance. We voted and Jesmen is a suspended member of the party.
Having first responded with a letter, what is Jesmen's stance?
Hostile takeover attempt of our party. The Secretary General is being used as a surrogate. No decision was made at any NEC meeting that says the chairman has been suspended. Just because somebody stood up and shouted that the chairman should apologize because he went on TV to say NGC is not part of an alliance in practical sense, so the chairman should apologize, otherwise we're going to vote to suspend him. That led to chaos.
He further states that the party has no alliance with any other party in practical terms.
First of all, I did say that the party, in the practical sense of the word, is not part of any alliance. So all our members who left our party, please come, join us and build our party. How can that be considered an anti-party? This is bringing people to build the party up. How can that be considered anti-party? So that already tells you there is ulterior motive over the attempt to take over the party. Secondly, the basis of the motion that was moved, that was stated, not even moved, and no vote were taken in line with the constitution of our party to make any decision on it, was based on my television statement. Yes. Now that they come with a bogus letter claiming that I am suspended when they have not shown any proof of how I was suspended, because they have no basis for doing so. Now they're fabricating other stories. NGC party, I am the bona fide constitutional mandated chairman and leader of the party. The NGC party, in the practical sense of the word, is not part of any alliance. We are independent.
Even though Jesmen is saying the party doesn't have any practical alliance, Emmanuel Towell, representing the party, says the alliance with the ruling party is still watertight.
Part of the alliance, as far as I'm concerned, because the NEC body made up this alliance, and if the NEC body needs to come back, sit there and say we are not part, Jesmen is not only the NEC members, so he took it all upon his own. So now Jesmen is facing the punishment for breaking the rules of the party. Yeah. He still have this same room to say apologies publicly to the party and to the nation.
It is clear that the party is having a little infight, and the impasse has left the membership with some mixed positions. Samuel Tunisoya, AYV News, Freetown.
Indeed, an infight within the National Grand Coalition Party. This is saying this, and this is saying this. Now, one key thing I picked up from the chairman whom the party said they've suspended, which is Jesmen, said that the party is in no alliance with the ruling party, Sierra People's Party. What do you make up of the suspension?
I see it as something that is very foolish and childish. If you entered into an alliance which was well publicized, in fact there were written documents to read.
To the effect.
If you want, there is a law of agreements. I'm not a law student, but I read the basics around the law. If you entered into an agreement, there are basic benchmarks of an agreement, which is what you offer, what is expected of me and what is expected of you. And also there is what is called timeline. So firstly, let me just speak for Jesmen. I totally disagree with them. If you entered into an agreement and you want to walk out from that agreement, there are due processes which you initially initiated, and you must follow those due processes. So are they suggesting that for them to walk into that marriage with SLPP, they never consulted among themselves? I'll come to that later, but definitely his suspension also raises issues around constitutionality and procedurality. Was there a quorum? Who were members that sat and decided what the constitution of the NGC says about anti-party activities? Of course, anti-party activities, as per the constitution of Sierra Leone, is not a crime. Section 77, 1K and L and I think they're very clear about that, as to how, if you're in parliament, how you conduct yourself. So anti-party activity is not a crime. But we've seen over the years, for example, in the case of APC, how that so-called very carte blanche nomenclature of anti-party activity was used against some Summa, and we all saw what happened then. So qualification, I think constitutionally we should review in the constitutional review process that statement of anti-party activity must be carefully determined and ascertained in tandem with the constitution, not to because Tutki Kabuduls sit and decide that, oh, because Jesmen has said so, and he should be relieved of his duty. So there should be, but of course there is another aspect to it. It shows that the SLPP government is not a good dealer.
How?
It's not a good dealer for the fact that Jesmen is saying there is practically no agreement with them. It's because the terms and conditions of those agreements have not been fully implemented. So they are aggrieved, they are disappointed. So if you are to blame the NGC for being in the situation that it is now, you should blame SLPP and my good old mentor, Honorable Dr. Kande Yumkela, because he never plotted his exit strategy properly. So the chicken are coming home to roast. It's quite.
So Melvin, let me hold you there a bit. Now you've spoken of the agreement between, and in an agreement we have what we call the offer and acceptance. SLPP might be the offeror, and then NGC might be the offeree. Now both parties came together, and then we saw in 2023 before the election, we saw the Grand Coalition, the National Grand Coalition, and that of the Sierra People's Party came together for a betterment for Sierra Leone, according to them. Now, if you were saying that one party has failed to implement in the agreement, now Jesmen is coming out saying what he thinks or what he believes was not right, that the party had no connection or no agreement with the ruling party, and then now you're also implying that Dr. Kande Yumkela exit is not that well opened. He might have used the back door to leave the party. What are you actually trying to see here?
The thing I'm saying here is whenever you enter into an agreement, you must be clear on your position.
Of course.
What you are expecting and what is to be offered. And what is missing in
the terms and conditions.
The terms of reference of this agreement. What is missing in the NGC SLPP agreement is timeline. When will they be offered those positions? It's not there, and you will hear government officials saying, "Oh, one or two people are coming from NGC." Of course, Honorable Yumkela has been appointed. Of course, Dennis Bright has been, Andrew Kiley. They've all been appointed. But what was agreed upon? What was their quota? And there is something that I note here for the NGC to get very clearly. For them to be walking out of the marriage now, it's an intellectual defeat on their intelligence, because it shows that intellectually, it shows that the rug was pulled under them by the trickery of the SLPP. With all the bookman that we then get from United Nations, Harvard, they were not thoughtful enough to say we are entering into an agreement. What's the timeline? The agreement itself was vague.
Don't you believe it's a political score from the NGC?
A political score, it's a political own goal. The NGC is on the verge of fragmentation. They scored an own goal against themselves, and now they have to pay bitterly for that. But also there is another aspect to it, which is that of the killing of third forces. And we now begin to see with the NGC and previous other political parties that with the APC and the SLPP, if you are piloting the notion of being a third force, you're going to be stifled or killed. And the APC, the NGC at this moment is what I would call under political life support. They're on the verge of dying. If you can see the creator of the NGC himself was beating in his own backyard, what is that saying? It shows that, so the heart of the conversation, people form political parties, but in earnest, they lack ideologies. And I've always said, not the SLPP, not the APC, they've got what I would call a very sacrosanct political ideologies. They don't have it. So what they will do, for example, NGC, they'll say, oh, we're sharing the same passion, we want to develop. They will always hide under the blanket of, we want to develop the nation for the good of the nation. For the good of the nation, political parties can still work towards the good of the nation with different ideologies. But in this case, unfortunately, I would say the NGC, they've intellectually defeated themselves. And the fate of the alliance is now in a quagmire. I think the marriage is on the verge of being in a state of divorce or separation. But how they go about this in terms of practicality, that's where the palaver is coming from.
So now, can we draw instance here? Now, if you could remember in 2007, when the PMDC party joined the former ruling party, which was APC, yeah. When we see Charles Magai joined the then APC party in alliance, but something went wrong again when coming to 2018 election. We saw the man himself divulge from the APC, and then he joined again the SFP. Don't you think NGC still is going in that lane?
Well, I mean, if you look at the history of political alliances in Sierra Leone, I will tell you, it goes since the days of the PDP. You mentioned the PMDC and other political parties. There has always been this what I would call hegemony, of course, between the SLPP and the APC versus that of emerging or so-called third forces. So for me, what is missing here is the element of position sharing. And it shows that the SLPP, which is the governing party, they've been greedy. They've been holding all to themselves and giving the crumbs to other miniature political parties or small political parties. So definitely it shows that that winner takes all mentality is still